Welcome to the short introduction video on SporeWeb, which is an interactive overview of the complete sporulation cycle of Bacillus subtilis from the gene regulatory network point of view. This is the homepage, which shows you a schematic representation of all the stages of sporulation. Each of these stages is clickable if you want to find out more detailed information about this stage and how this is relevant for spore formation. In the schematic overview, you can see what happens on the gene regulatory level and which proteins play key roles in this. The genes that are under their control are listed in these boxes. In red, the genes that are repressed, and in blue, the genes that are activated. If you would like to find out more specific information about a regulator, you can click on it and find information about this regulator during a specific stage. If you would then like to find out what happens to this regulator during other stages of sporulation, you can immediately go there to see what changes and how this affects spore formation as well as gene transcription. You can get direct access to its complete regulome by clicking on this box or by going to the Excel icon up here. This will allow you to download an extensive Excel file that contains all of the genes that is part of this regulome, as well as the locus tag or synonym names. You can see whether the gene is repressed or activated by the regulator, and whether the gene is a member of other regulons as well. We've included information about its protein function and have listed the references in which the presence of this gene in this regulon has been described. If you go to a sporulation stage, you will see that several different regulons are active. We have visualized interactions between these regulons using cytoscape generated layouts. These layouts show the key regulators as well as the genes that are under their control. In blue, genes that are activated, and in red, genes that are repressed. In this way, you can also see subsets of genes that are under co-regulation. You can zoom in on these pictures to find out what the genes are, and if you click on them, you can also get a direct link to their SubtiWiki page, which shows you all the information about the gene or the protein as it's known in Bacillus subtilis so far. We've used some color coding in these layouts as well that was derived from Galperin and co-workers, a recent publication in which they describe a minimal subset of genes that a spore former should have. These genes have been categorized in functional categories, and we've copied this classification and color-coded it and implemented that in the cytoscape figures. You can also generate your own cytoscape figures by using this function here. For instance, if you're only interested in a subset of genes, you simply type in the sporulation genes in the white bar, separated by a comma only, and then press the Add Cytoscape button. This will then give you a cytoscape figure like this, which shows you the genes and their regulation and interaction, as well as during which stage in sporulation this regulation is relevant. If you would like to get more detailed information about gene expression values, we have generated some heat maps during specific stages of the sporulation cycle. These heat maps list all of the genes that are part of the active regulons during a specific stage, and the genes have been classified according to their regulation. The values that are shown in these tables have been derived from a recent publication of Nicolas and others, in which they have looked at gene expression values of all Bacillus subtilis genes during specific growth conditions. We have isolated the sporulation specific conditions and the germination specific conditions only, and have visualized the gene expression values in these heat maps. In blue and positive values, activation of the gene, and in red and negative values, repression of the gene. Other features of SporeWeb is that we have listed a few links to other information sources that might be of relevance to you. And there's an extensive reference list that lists all of the references that we've used on this website, with direct links to PubMed if you would like to find out more detailed information. You can navigate throughout the whole sporulation cycle of Bacillus subtilis using the schematic representation or by going to the menu bar. If you're only interested in a specific regulon, you can also use the menu bar for that and click on the regulon that you're interested in, and you can see during which stages in sporulation this regulon is active or important. Through this video, I hope to have shown you that SporeWeb is an interactive source of information on bacterial sporulation using Bacillus subtilis as a reference model. It is a dynamic database-driven platform that can thus be adjusted and supplemented as new relevant data becomes available in the future. Future perspectives for SporeWeb are also foreseen that can include expansion to a proteomics point of view or to information about other sporulating bacteria such as Clostridium. So now feel free to navigate through SporeWeb yourself and explore, as we believe that this is a user-friendly interface for both general information as well as comprehensible data acquisition for both specialists and non-specialists in the bacterial sporulation research field.